Studio Phonic unload for another gig. Like other sound systems trying to build up their posse, they play their own special selection of music. This is Studio One. Music recorded 20 years ago by Cox and Dodd in Kingston, Jamaica. For many, it's the central root of reggae.
It's kind of educating them more musically wise, really. Because, you know, a lot of people don't realise just how far back Studio One does go. A lot of music that they hear it nowadays, they think it's something new. They don't realise that somewhere there's a Studio One version of it. Some people just aren't really ready for Studio One just yet. So what we try and do is keep it on a commercial basis and then drop in the occasional Studio One and see how the people react.
At the start of the evening, Fonso plays the more commercial music familiar to the dance floor. He picks the latest sounds based on a Studio One original rhythm.
Take the Never Let Go rhythm now. The up-to-date version of that would be like the Dennis Brown, I Can't Stand It, which is a more slower sort of pace.
It's hard for me to carry on, I can't stand it. Oh, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. No, I can't stand it.
And then from that we go to, like, say, the Barrington Levi, Be Like a Soldier, which is more militant, more kind of up-tempo kind of thing, yeah?
Let us be like a soldier and defend our area. Let us be like a soldier.
And then probably run the style of it on dub plate, yeah? There's one by Junior Reid currently which is mashing it up now, it's very popular. And then from that we go into the 45 on Studio One, Never Let Go by Slim Smith, which is the original.
I will never let go. I will never, I will never let go. I will never, I got to hold on every day, in every way.
And then on the version, the DJs then will start DJ and they will be exciting the crowd.
Blow your whistle, you better blow your whistle. Blow your whistle, you better blow your whistle. Yes, I'm on the bep and the mic and bubble. Cause you never know the him sensational. Murder, sneak preview, sir. Love my train, love the bird you like news rank, side of me, sir.
What we'd call that now is style and fashion, yeah?
Studio One music first took the lead in Jamaica in the early 60s. This is the Maytels, on stage at the Sombrero Club. The Maytels were one of the earliest groups to record in Cox and Dodd's Studio One. Before this, it had been mainly American-style rhythm and blues in Jamaica. Afterwards, ska and bluebeat were fashioned into reggae. Studio One also arrived in England in the early 60s at the cellar parties. To start with, records were sold from a suitcase by George Peckings, who now runs this shop.
I decided, well, it's Studio One or bust. I got to be with Studio One. I started to peddle it around, door to door, just like the salesman, because no one knew of it. So I introduce it and I persuade people it's one of our own native music and that they should buy it and play it.
Since those early days, Studio One established itself as the keynote for reggae music.
Well, I don't think Studio One would ever leave the scene. It makes great singers, and more of the younger singers come up. Their ambition is to sing for Studio One. So more or less, without a Studio One, then there wouldn't be any great artists. As simple as that. Dennis Brown, John Holt, all of them came from Studio One.
But then in the 70s, Studio One went into decline, leaving the way clear for other recording studios to come in.
They relaxed, and the much later companies like Channel One, like Joe Gibbs and Upsetters and quite a few more, they started to do a lot of Studio One rhythm, which the younger people had no knowledge. It was Studio One music, and they went wild in it. So when I actually revived Studio One, they get the knowledge that, oh, these music was all Studio One music. And gradually they started to ask for the original. And the younger people today love it.
Everybody likes the old time rhythm. It just seems to be coming back all of a sudden. And everybody just seems to get in the groove to it.
Something that the two generations both like. You can both talk about it and get together.
My dad had a sound, and I've always grown up with that kind of music. So, and if you like something, obviously you follow it.
I used to take up my dad's old records and play them. I rocked to them, and he used to tell me how the dance used to be, you know, a long time ago.
Keeps up with the old time and new time. It's a beat it's your heartbeat, it never dies. It's always there. That is Studio One.